Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Stepping Stone Tutorials. Viewers, we are back with another brand new chapter of Class 10 Science. The chapter is Life Processes. Viewers, this is the third video in continuation of my earlier videos on the chapter Life Processes. In my earlier video, we have seen that digested food is assimilated into the body of the living organisms, and this assimilated food is used for two purposes. Firstly, to get energy for life processes, and secondly, for the growth and repair of the body. In this video, we will discuss how energy is released from the food, which is absorbed and assimilated in the cells of the body. This process of releasing of energy from food is called respiration. Now, most living things need oxygen to obtain energy from food. This oxygen reacts with the food molecules like glucose present in the body cells and burns them slowly to release energy. Like animals, plants also need energy. The plants get this energy by the process of respiration. Now, in plants also, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Now, in plants, all the parts like roots, stems and leaves perform respiration individually. The respiration in plants occurs at a comparatively slower rate than in animals, and the process of respiration actually takes place by diffusion. Diffusion occurs in roots, stems and leaves. What is diffusion? It is the process of movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So we have learned that respiration in plants takes place due to the process of diffusion. Now let me give an overview of the process of diffusion. It is the process of movement of molecules from region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Like for example, when we light an incense stick, agarbatti, in a corner of a room, its fragrance spreads in the whole room very quickly. This fragrance of the agarbatti spreads all over due to the diffusion of its smoke into air. Similarly, when your mom cooks some tasty food, the smell reaches you even when you are at a considerable distance from the kitchen. This is due to the diffusion of the food gas into air. Now, respiration in plants takes place separately in its roots, leaves and stems. So first we will see how respiration in roots takes place. So oxygen is present in between the particles of soil. Now this oxygen diffuses into the root hairs of the root, and then it reaches all other cells of the root. Similarly, when oxygen reaches to the cells of the root, respiration takes place and then carbon dioxide is produced as a waste product in the root cells. This carbon dioxide again diffuses back to the root hair, and finally the carbon dioxide diffuses into the soil. So the respiration of roots occurs by the diffusion of the respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide through the root hairs. So let me show you the diagram for better understanding. See visually how respiration in roots takes place. You can see here the gaseous exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place in the roots through this root hair. Root hair are tiny projections in the roots through which oxygen is diffused in from the soil, and the carbon dioxide produced in the cells of the roots are diffused out. We will see how respiration in stems takes place. The stems of herbaceous plants have stomata. So the exchange of respiratory gases in the stems of herbs takes place through the stomata. The oxygen from air diffuses into the stem of a herbaceous plant through the stomata and reaches all the cells for respiration. The carbon dioxide gas, which is produced during the respiration, diffuses out into the air through the same stomata. The hard and woody stems of big plants or trees do not have stomata. Instead, they have lenticels for gaseous exchange. Now you can see here how gaseous exchange takes place through the lenticels present in the stems of hard and woody stems of big trees. Now small herbaceous plants, those are green in color, they have stomata present in their stems. So the gaseous exchange takes place through these stomata. Now even in leaves, green leaves, they do have stomata. So in leaves also the gaseous exchange takes place through the stomata and hence respiration takes place. Respiration in leaves. The leaves of a plant have tiny pores called stomata. The exchange of respiratory gases in the leaves takes place by the process of diffusion through stomata. Now during daytime, photosynthesis occurs and hence oxygen is produced. The leaves uses some of this oxygen for respiration and the rest of the oxygen diffuses out into air. Again during daytime, carbon dioxide produced by respiration is all used up in photosynthesis by leaves. In fact, more carbon dioxide is taken in from air. But at night, no photosynthesis occurs and hence no oxygen is produced. So oxygen from air diffuses in leaves to carry out respiration and carbon dioxide produced diffuses out into air. All this gaseous exchange takes place through the stomata. Respiration in animals. Unicellular organisms like amoeba, they respire by simple diffusion process through the cell membrane. Animals which live in soil like earthworm, they use their skin for respiration. And aquatic animals like fishes, they use a special organ called gills for respiration. Insects like cockroach, they have tiny holes in their body called spiracle and air tubes called trachea for respiration. And land animals like us, man, they use their lungs for respiration. So we have seen till here that the main purpose of respiration is the release of energy from the oxidation of simple food molecules like glucose. Now all the energy released during respiration is not used immediately by any organism. It may be either plant or animal. So how energy released during respiration is stored? The energy produced from food like glucose during respiration is stored in the form of ATP molecules in the cells of the body. This stored energy can be utilized by the body for various purposes whenever required. So first let us see what are these terms ADP and ATP. So ADP is a substance called adenosine diphosphate. The molecules of ADP are already present inside our cell and they have very low energy content. ATP is a substance called adenosine triphosphate. It is also present in the cell and has high energy content. Inorganic phosphate, it is a substance which contains phosphate group made up of oxygen and phosphorus. Inorganic phosphate is also present in the cell. Now what happens when respiration takes place, energy is released and then ADP combines with a phosphate group and the energy released from respiration to form ATP molecule. Now when the cell needs energy, then ATP can be broken down using water to release energy. So ATP molecule breaks down to form ADP, phosphate and some energy for various uses.